Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to what we watched last weekend,
Oh,
where this week we will be talking about 3 seasons of Squid Game, which I just now figured out it's called Squid Game because
I sort of
most of us black people have been calling it Squid Games with an S. It's just Squid Game apparently.
yeah.
I'm Lady Shasha. I'm joined by Tony Man 100. What's going on with your camera, Tony Man 100?
Well, let me tell you. For the people in the chat or the people that are going to be streaming this later on, I decided to make my first video today, and I decided to record myself playing old school Nintendo games, two of them, and I got it. I did it. I edited it. Well, I didn't really edit it because it was just me being me. So I finished it. I added my intro and my outro. I didn't add my Patreon yet, guys. Give me a chance. Let me see how well the first video does before I start, jumping off crazy. But anyways, so I did the video, and it's been so I did it. It did everything in Final Cut, so it was ready to post on YouTube. It's taken since 11 o'clock this morning till now for the fucking. It's not even halfway done yet.
Wait, language,
Excuse my
language.
language. Excuse me. It's not even halfway done yet. It's at 45% on my other Mac. So I'm using another Mac right now. So this one wasn't really set up for the live stream. So I had to really crash into it. But I don't know what it's at now because my computer went to sleep. But meant to ask you, when you're loading up these movies or these videos, if the computer goes to sleep, does it still upload to YouTube, or does it automatically stop doing it?
I usually don't let the computer go to sleep, but how long is the video?
30 minutes.
It shouldn't take this long to upload
Yeah, I
at
know.
all. It should take at most usually takes like 12, I would say 12 minutes to upload.
Well,
For 30 minutes, it would be 12 to 20 minutes, just depending on resolution. That's why I don't, even though I have a 4K camera, I don't shoot in 4K because it takes too long to upload the video. So I'm still
hmm
shooting at 1080p. And I just now increased that because last year I was still uploading at 720 just so that it would upload faster.
okay. Well, I
Yeah, something's up. Something's up with that. It shouldn't be taking that long to upload. You want to
so
make
people, when it does come up, if you're subscribed to my page, I was actually going to try to surprise Lady Shasha with it even during the stream, but
hmm
it's just really annoying me how long it's taking. So I don't know. I guess I
Yeah.
have to cancel it out and then do it again.
Yeah, maybe. It might also you're gonna have to check for copyright because are any of the games that you played Nintendo?
They are,
Yeah, that could be the issue too. That's why you don't see a lot of people streaming Nintendo games.
but they're
Japan
old school
as
Nintendo. They're like from 1985.
it doesn't matter. Japan and Nintendo are really, really harsh with copyright. So you
Oh,
might not even be able to upload like if it does upload, it might say blocked in this country because of copyright.
but even if it's not um actual Nintendo games, I mean from Nintendo, let's just say I didn't want to even talk about the games, but I'll tell you anyways. So I played a preseason game of Tecmo Super Bowl, and then I played and then I did Mike Tyson's Punch Out for three different fights.
Well,
And then
you'll have to just upload it and see what happens.
all right. That was just because I even said it in the video. I said I've been slacking on my pimping and I haven't been doing stuff that I should be doing. So you
Mhm.
know what? I'm gonna do one right now. I'm gonna test the waters. So I jumped head first in.
Okay. I'm gonna change the background to go with our content tonight. Put it
Oh, by the way,
pastel so that it goes with the Squid Game kind of
uh,
motif.
okay.
We've got some people in the chat. Let's say hello. And I got my first channel member. I'm so excited. Bonnie Smith says Bonnie Smith became a YouTube member. Thank you so much, Bonnie. I really appreciate that.
Hey,
I'm like,
Bonnie, that was
I'm,
awesome.
it's like making me excited because I just now, and as of July 1st, was able to get approved to offer channel membership. So that's really, really awesome. Thank you so much. Um, she's been really awesome to me anyways. She's really been
She
supportive,
has.
and like there's times where I think about uh literally kind of giving up every now and then. I have my doubts about my content and thinking things are not good enough, and she always is like encouraging me, and I find that invaluable.
Well,
Um
that's the sign of an artist because even me,
mhm
like, taking just random photographs, you've said it, and I've had literally like maybe 10 or 12 people tell me, "Oh my god, those are that's a beautiful photo. Why don't you put that,
mhm
like, make it out of art?" And I can always find something wrong in it.
mhm
Do you know what I mean? And that's why
yes.
it's hard. But no, you do great content. You do put up a lot of good stuff. You're very, very bubbly personality on here.
Oh, thank you. Well, what I've learned to do when I start to doubt myself now is to go back and look at my older videos, because it's a good reminder of how far, even though I'm not exactly where I want to be yet, because I know that I can get better at editing, I can get better at my lighting, I can get better at even um, on camera presentation. But to look at some of my earliest videos and compare them to now, I've gotten so much better. My earlier videos, oh my gosh, they some of them were really bad sound, bad lighting, sometimes
Hey, that's
even
yeah.
bad makeup.
You should go. We should do what we just watched last weekend and do a retrospective of one of your first videos.
Oh gosh,
Hey,
I'm
it's always good
embarrassed
to.
to
It's
watch
always
it.
good. Hey, what is it? It's always good to make what do you make poke fun at yourself.
Yeah, this is true.
But
Let me say hello to the other people in the chat.
man,
Midnight Messiah returns, says hello everyone. Foaming Heat Latte is in the house. She
hi
says hey
Fo.
y'all. Mystic Mac is here. He says this season of Squid Game was absolutely heartbreaking. Yes, we are gonna get into that. Oh my god, I
Hmm.
tried my best not to get attached. I said to myself, I'm not gonna get attached to any of these characters because I know what's gonna happen, and they still tugged at my heartstrings.
Well,
Fominky Latte says the beauty of technology, it only halfway works. Now,
yeah.
what were you about to say, Tony Man?
No, jeez, I forgot now. What? No, I was gonna say. Yeah, and what I heard or what I've learned was also to stop comparing yourself to other people and compare
Yes.
yourself to yourself.
Yeah,
Like,
they say comparison is the thief of happiness.
right. So yes, because if you go, well, I want to be like this person, you may never be like that person, but you can be your person.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. All right. So let's get into season one of Squid Games, ladies and gentlemen. What the
Sorry
hell
about
was
that.
that?
Neighbor with a motorcycle, because it's that season. They're on their motorcycles. They're on their trikes. They're on their dune buggies down here. I did prepare some visuals to jog our memory of this, because we'll start talking with just a short talk about season one. Wait, that advanced. There we go. Of Squid Game and what we remember, how uh, we reacted to it. Um, I I guess you want to start off what you remember about season one, and we can also get into the cultural significance of Squid Game towards the end of the show. But right now, what was your reaction to watching the first season of Squid Game?
What the hell? Like at the very beginning, or yeah, was it? It must have been the very first episode. Was it or second episode when they did the now
Oh,
famous red light
red
green
light,
light,
green light. Mm-hmm.
and I remember watching it, going, "Oh, these guys are gonna do this little like game."
Mm-hmm.
And then when she said green light, red light, and then somebody moved, and all you had to see was that first gunshot, pow, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh my god, this is a different type of game." And then
Yes.
and then the roller coaster went from there. Well, yeah, and dude, it was crazy because like even in the first season, there were people getting picked off left and right. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
like that. That was a thinning of the herd.
Oh yeah.
That was crazy. But okay, what do you remember?
I remember us first getting to know character number 456. It's crazy how it's easier for me to remember their numbers than their names. But
Yes,
character 456, we learn about his life and how he basically is a compulsive
Gi-hun
gambler,
or
and
Gi-hun.
Gihon, yeah, and he's in so much debt. He's also divorced, and he wants to have a good relationship with his daughter, and he's just trying to get back on his feet. And at the same time, he also has he's trying to support his mother. He's in that point of midlife where you're simultaneously taking care of your parent and taking care of your children,
Yeah, I that's
or
who I
trying to. He's kind of failing at it, but he was trying to.
that's who I related to the most probably in
Hmm.
season 1 too. Like him because I was like, yo, this dude's down on his luck. He was getting slapped in the face by the Thai guy,
Hmm.
and that was just crazy. But
And
okay,
we also meet a young lady that has defected from North Korea, and her purpose there was to try to get her child back. I think when she defected, she lost contact with her child, and she was trying to get her child back.
that's season 1 or
We,
2.
season one. She's also in season two. But we'll get there. In
Yeah.
season one, she was a player, and
Mhm.
there was also an immigrant from India who worked in the factory systems in South Korea, and he was treated horribly. He also lost a couple fingers in his
Yeah.
before he even got to the Squid Games. He had work uh, incidents that caused him to lose some fingers, and he was just trying to make money for his family. And then we also had player 001, who was just this affable elderly man that at
No
first you're like,
man.
why is he in this game? And then you get the reveal that
L-
player 001 is pretty much running the game. It's his game.
Yeah. Cuz yeah. Now, what was the game that you remembered most out of all of them? I have them like in my hand right now.
Well, I put one
I
of the
get
pictures up of the game that's most. I mean, obviously the first game is super memorable because
yeah.
the first game is what lets you know what the stakes
Hell,
were
you even have the
in this.
doll
Yeah.
on your
Oh yeah,
shelf.
I have that doll. I had to get her when I saw her. I said, "Oh, I have to get that." Cuz she's a cultural icon, as evil as she is, with them eyeballs moving around to see if anybody moves. Um but when the first red light green light game lets you know what the stakes are, but the game that was the most intense for me to watch in season one was the Dolgana cookies, when they had
Yeah.
to try to carve out the little shapes in the cookies. I was like, oh my gosh,
Yeah,
this
you either
is
got a triangle, a
mm-hmm.
circle, or an X.
No, an umbrella.
An umbrella. That's
Mm-hmm.
right. And it you would think that that would be easy to do, but do you think about it? The more pressure you're under, the more you start to sweat, and the more you
Mm-hmm.
start to like make mistakes. And how many
Yep.
people thought they had it, and they would break the cookie, and it would break, and then just bow, shoot them right in
Mm-hmm.
the head, and just that was it.
Yep.
Do you
Uh,
remember? Do you remember the tug of war?
yes.
Yeah.
Was that your most intense
The
scene?
most the most intense one for me was the glass bridge
Yes, yes, yes.
when they were because you're just watching them and then whoop, they're gone, and it was in the same arena that the other the in season 2 is, but that was just intense because walking on that glass, you just don't. But you know, you'd have to have people sacrifice or make mistakes, and then you know which ones to go on all the way across.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, do you? Because I was looking it up. But do you remember the marbles one?
The marbles game is what they played when there was a recreation of the little village that
Yeah,
player 001 was very excited about, because he pretty much had them recreate his childhood neighborhood.
that's right.
Hmm.
That's right.
And
So
that's
who?
when you first saw people really kind of backstab each other, was in the marbles game, if I recall correctly.
Yes, yeah. And then I don't remember the bully's name, but I remember there was like a really overweight, like he was a thick bully.
Mm. Oh, speaking of names, when I was putting together this presentation, I found some images
Hmm.
um, that show the different characters' names.
There we
Um,
go.
we have Song Gi-hoon, that's our main character.
Hmm.
Abdul Ali, Cho Sang-woo, Han Minyo, sorry, um, Wang Junho, and I think is it John Juksu was the big guy you're talking about?
Um, no, it was
A different guy?
no Duck Su. Yeah, 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 that's
Yeah.
him.
Of course, O Il Nam, and then Kang Se-byuk, and Ji Young, I think is how it's pronounced, Ji Young. Um, what I found when I was looking this up, I stumbled upon a Reddit, and someone put together what the characters' names mean. And it's interesting because if you understood Korean, you probably could have known like who was going to make it and who wasn't going to make it
Oh,
based on what their name means. Like Gihun's name means completed, succeeded, meritorious deed, and that's who he is. He's a very he completed the first season, he succeeded, and he does have like an internal need to live his life with merit and with justice type of thing. He has an
right.
internal justice. Ji Young's name means wisdom, glory, honor, and flourish.
Did
Kang,
Ji Young, but Ji Young die,
did
right?
she? Well, but while she was in the game, did she show some wisdom and honor?
Yeah, she did.
Mhm. Kang Se-byuk's name, it means dawn, which is like the beginning of a new day. And she did end up having a new day because she came back in season 2 and 3. Cho Sang-woo means helping each other, helping others. Honestly, I don't remember his character too tough.
No.
O Il-nam means first man, which makes sense because his number is 001 and he's the eldest there. And then Doksu means active, fearless, which he pretty much was. He was. Wang Jung-ho means talented, bright, and handsome.
Oh,
And his character goes through all 3 seasons because remember he was the agent who's trying to get back into the Squid Game because his brother is there. So
yes.
he's the one that he's trying to find the island. He's been on the boats trying to find that island. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Abdul Ali, his name means servant of the Most High, and he was also a very virtuous character.
Yes, he
Um,
was.
if you remember Han Min Yao, she was loud as heck. Her name means audacious and beautiful girl, and she was audacious. She really was. So I thought that was really interesting to learn what the meanings of their names. And I apologize for my pronunciation of the South Korean names. I am trying my best, and I'm trying not to be disrespectful.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm trying. I'm sorry. I'm trying to read more about the because I
You
should
have
maybe.
to do that before the stream.
Well, no. I'm sorry. I'm just thinking about part one and any other
Mhm.
things that stuck out to me besides the games.
What I One thing I didn't understand was why he decided. Was it just a style choice? Why he decided to change his hair? Let me go back.
Yeah.
If you notice at the
Yeah.
very end, he changed his hair to this red, and I wondered what that meant. At first, my first take on it was he was the type of person who wanted to disappear into the background,
Hmm.
and by him having the red hair was like the opposite of his character. It's like he no longer felt like he needed to disappear into the background.
Yes. And of course, they were supposed to win 45 billion
Juan?
601, which translate to how much in American dollars? Did you notice? Did you?
No, I looked it up when we were first watching it, but I don't remember the
I don't remember
number.
either, but because I only did it from part two when the old man was like, when he said something and he was like, hey, we can have this much apiece. And I looked
Tell,
it up and
tell
I
me
was like,
that. Tell me that figure again.
40, it's 456,
Four.
45 billion 600,000 won, or 600 million. 45 billion 600 million, I think, or 45 million. I don't remember my
How
commas.
many zeros?
Jesus Christ. I
Oh, know what? Google already said, do you mean this amount? It translates to into USD. Why is it? Why?
It
There it
says
is.
it. Oh,
32 million. Wait, no, hold on. That's 427,000. Yeah, 32,737,471.20. So almost 33 million
well, this
dollars
is
USD.
obviously you're right because this says 46 billion won, 45.6 billion won. So was it? It
Yeah.
might have been just one. Yeah, you're
Because as
32,000.
soon as I wrote in 456 and added 2 zeros, Google said, "Do you want to translate
And how much did you say it
45
was?
points?" It says 32,737,472.20.
Huh. Mine says 32,745 32 billion million. Sorry, 32,745,046.06 is what I got.
Either way, it's almost 33 million.
Yeah, for one person.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I probably would have played the game too.
I don't know. Even I don't
I
know
have a
if it's
question for you about that too at the end, or you can
mm,
I can ask it now maybe.
okay. Is it about season 1?
No, it's about just in general.
Okay, so we'll leave that for the end because we're gonna go season by season right now, and then we'll get into that. So let's go into season 2.
Yes.
Now this one, you were. We'll go with the same question that you asked me earlier about the most memorable games, and so in season 2, the most memorable games for me are what I put on these slides. That first one where they had to play the different childhood games in a circle with their ankles tied together, that was pretty intense. Especially that game they played with the little they were like little dice bricks that they had to like bounce and pick up. That seemed really hard when you get to the last part where you have to have it on the top of your hand and then toss it in the air and then catch all 5 die in your hand.
Yeah.
I would have died. I couldn't. I would have died.
It was almost like Jax, but not like
Yeah,
Jax.
it was like Jax, but on difficulty extra hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because Jax, you only have to bounce the ball and pick up as many Jacks as you want, but it's not like a specific number in order. You have to pick the Jacks up,
Right.
and you don't have to have all the Jacks on the top of your hand and then toss them in the air and then catch them all in your fist.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, because it was like they were like there were symbols, and I remember
mm-hmm,
what they had to do is they like had to grab the first symbol,
mm-hmm,
throw the other ones down,
mm-hmm,
drop the one down, grab the second symbol, throw it up to grab them all. There were 5 symbols, and
mm-hmm.
they had to grab each one, throw each one in the air. You're right. It was yeah. I probably would have got shot too,
Yeah, and the
but
top, the spinning top.
I know how to
Oh,
do that one.
I couldn't do that one. Not with
I
the
could.
string.
I could do that.
You have to hold the string and then toss
Yeah,
the top. Yeah, that one.
I could do that one.
And then this one with the carousel where they had to pair up,
Yep.
it was giving me flashbacks of being, chosen last in gym class.
Yeah, I mean, with me with that was that one reminded me of many years ago. I worked at a YMCA, and it was like summer camp training for all the camp counselor type thing,
Mhm.
and there were 4 of us from one specific YMCA that we were going to be the summer camp people in. And they were doing that. They had everybody like get into groups, so we all had to like go into our groups, and
Mhm.
then we had like 3 minutes, 3 minutes to either grab a person or let a person go, or you had to find like, and they thought it was team building, but I mean, my group was a gentleman that was half black and half Hawaiian.
Mhm.
It was a Muslim girl complete with her
Hijab.
her hijab.
Mhm.
It was a what's not Colombian. Was it
Just say Latina. It's a
a
Latina girl.
Latina girl, and then
Mhm.
a homosexual young man,
Mhm.
and me, white white trash, whatever. But I was the one that when it first happened, they kicked my ass out the group in a second. They were like, no, because I think it was 4, and they're like, you got to go find another group, Tony man, and I
Well, what did you guys have to do as a group?
we had to do the same exact thing that the seesaw was, where you stand in a group, and then they go, okay, you have 1 minute to find another group of 5. So you
Yeah,
had
but
to go.
was there an activity that you guys had to do after you found your group?
No, we just had to stand in the group and stand in the group, get to know. Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, you get to know the other people. Like, hey, how
Yeah,
are you?
so
Blah,
it's
blah,
a
blah.
popularity contest. The reason why I was asking
Yeah,
that is because I know that back then when you worked at the camp, you were 70 pounds heavier. So
yeah.
I didn't know whether I had to know whether they were trying to eliminate you because it was a physical activity they didn't think you could do. But
I could have did
since
it
it wasn't a physical activity, that means it was a popularity contest
pretty much.
and you just weren't popular.
Yep, it's just like high school and like
Yeah.
elementary school. It
Yeah, that's what I
happens.
said, like elementary school, because when I mentioned being picked last, it literally was a popularity contest because I'm a person who was very athletic. I went to college on a full ride athletic scholarship. So they were literally picking me last just because they didn't like me or really didn't understand because, being a neurodivergent child, you don't necessarily react to things the same way other people react to things. So then they think that you're weird because you're not having the same reactions that they're having. But it felt good to always prove people wrong, like climbing to the top of that rope in gym
Yeah,
class when nobody else can.
never
Doing
did.
the Yep.
I
Uh,
never did.
you never did. You never made it to the top of the rope.
Nope.
I
I
used to do
never
that,
tried it.
and then do you remember when in the 80s? I don't know if they still do this. In the 80s, we used to have like this President's Fitness
Mm-hmm.
Challenge where you had to do these tests, and I
Mm-hmm.
remember for girls, you didn't have to do the pull-ups, but the boys did. But I still did the pull-ups with the boys, and I was like,
Yeah. Nope. I mean, we had the president's test, and all I remember was when it was time to do the mile run,
hmm
and they were like, you got to get it under 5 minutes, and I crossed the line, and my time was, what do you think?
I don't know.
17 minutes and 28
Oh
seconds, because
wow!
I was like, I'm walking this. I'm not running this shit, like this crap. I'm not doing it. And I
I
walked
used to
it.
just when in elementary school, I used to just run it, and I would always be either first or second. There was one little boy
Oh,
that could beat me in sixth grade, and that was it. But all through elementary school, I was first in that.
nope. 100-meter dash. Never did it. I'd never
Mm.
tried. I never
And
attempted to
then
do it.
what's funny is because of that, I mean, this is a side note. I ended up running track in middle school because I guess I don't know whether the high school, I don't know what happened or how the teacher sent me to go do track. I'm guessing that the coaches from the middle school probably asked the gym teachers from the elementary schools which students to send to go try out for track because I went because the teacher told me, "Oh, you should go after school and try out for track."
Yeah, they can see that you're svelte
Who I was.
as a
I'm not
child.
anymore. As
As a
a
child,
child, yeah.
you were a beanpole, like,
Yes, I was.
and you were fast because you're
Yeah.
still fast to this day. You're faster than me,
Mhm.
but
But yeah, scene with them having to form these different groups was very hard to watch because like I said, it's a popularity contest, but a part of it was also there's an added element of fear because there's certain characters that were horrible people and people that the other characters were afraid of. Specifically,
hmm
these two in the bottom, this guy here with the purple hair, he's actually
Thanos.
yeah, the Thanos, the character Thanos, the actor playing him is actually a K-pop star. His name is Top, and I think he's in the group Big Bang, if I'm not mistaken. I don't have a lot of Big Bang music, so the only thing I remember from them is "Put Your Hands Up," and there's another song. I can picture the music video.
uh-huh.
And the guy with the super long hair, he's got the um. Oh, it's gonna bug me. Hold on, I gotta look it up. He's got super long hair in the video. Big Bang.
He was a rapper, yo.
In real life, he's a rapper, but for some reason in the show, it's Fantastic Baby. That's the song I used to listen to from Big Bang all the time. Wow, Fantastic Baby, dance. Yeah, but Top is a rapper, in Big Bang. That's what made it funny to me how his character was acting because he was purposely rapping terribly.
He
He
was.
was rapping. He was like purposely being a horrible rapper as his character. And I thought that was hilarious. Fominky Latte says, I made sure they regretted ever picking me, so I was never picked for any athletic group activity again.
So elaborate, Full Minky Latte. Was that like you
Mhm.
didn't do anything, or like you made sure they lost?
I've done that before out of spite. I remember in sixth grade, we had to play wiffle ball and they picked me last. And I said, after all these years, this was in the springtime, all these years in elementary school, and I've been, running laps around y'all, being damn near the best, athlete in the class, and you're still picking me last. So what I would do when we play wiffle ball is I would go up to bat and I would hit the ball like a home run and then refuse to run. I would just go and sit down. And they're yelling at me, run, run, run. No, you picked me last. F
Yeah,
you.
you.
I just hit the ball to show you I could do it, but I'm not
But
gonna run. So
my
there.
favorite, my favorite, my favorite from when I first met you.
Hmm.
You had told me a story of what you used to do
What was that?
in class. Do you remember?
Well, it was two
Just
things.
to get back, just to get back at everybody in your classroom.
There was two things. It was either the uh asking the teacher or telling the teacher they forgot to assign the homework.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Not that one. There was another one.
Oh, it was when the teacher asked, because in Connecticut, depending on where you live at, because we don't have a Major League Baseball team. So if you're from central
No,
Connecticut to north, let me finish the story.
go ahead.
You like the Red Sox typically. And if you're from central Connecticut to the south of Connecticut, then you usually like the Yankees. So the teacher asks, who's rooting for the Red Sox and who's rooting for the Yankees. And since we were in central Connecticut, people will go either way. They're going through the class and everybody's saying Red Sox, Yankees, Red Sox, Yankees. And when the teacher got to me, I said the Mets, and they all got mad.
Yeah,
But I did it just because I don't care about baseball, but I just thought it would be funny.
and I mean, you're just as passive aggressive as me because I remember when they would call me to like read,
Mm-hmm.
and I was reading I started reading at like 2 or 3. That's what my mom told me. I started reading books at like 2 or 3, so I could read. And whenever they would call me, like they would just go around the classroom, hey, so and so, would you read? And they would be like, if I'm gonna read Faux Mickey Latte's quote of the one, okay, about the regretted, let me click on it so I could show it what I'm saying. They would say, I made sure they greeted like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'd be like, regretted. They like I would keep telling them the words, like, and then when it got to me, I'm like, I made sure they regretted ever picking, and I would like read, but I would look up at the class as I was reading, like to like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. To look
And
them in the eye, like see what you can't do. That's kind of mean.
they hated it. They hated it. But the one thing that you did that you told me that you admitted that you did
What is that?
when they said that there was a quiz or a test and they had extra credit, and you would do what
Oh, I would do the extra credit.
to throw off the curve.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you said you would get 100, and then you do the extra credit just to throw off the curve.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, I know how you are.
I felt like John Rambo. They drew first blood.
You can't say that. No,
Yes, I
we're
can.
more like 80s high school bullies.
Nothing is over. I
But
just
like
can't turn it off.
like I said, like I had said before to you, when I had a kid, this kid in auto body was steadily insulting me, just just going at me. And I said 2 insults. One of them was worse than the other, and I'm not going to say the one that was worse than the other. I'll have to tell you, kayfabe on like the other side.
Yeah.
But I did say to the dude, "You're so stupid. You couldn't spell cat if I gave you the C and the T." And the teacher started cracking up, and he was like, oh, "I can spell ass whooping. I'll whoop your ass." That's because I struck dog will holler.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Okay,
I was. But anyways,
Foaming Tea Latte says, I put absolutely no effort into anything. I hated all group activities.
You sound like
I'm like,
Shasha.
oh, yes, I hated group projects in class because, like, you're forcing me to, to, you're forcing me to, my grades to be at the mercy of other people. And I don't like that. I
Yeah.
hate that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Midnight Messiah Return says, my evil genius plan starring Lady Shasha and Tonyman.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That was our evil genius plan. Now back to Squid Games 2. I have a question for you
Mm-hmm.
because I remember I texted you this. Did you get? Remember what I said? I said it's filled with gore because remember
Mm-hmm.
I started watching it the day after my surgery because I had nothing to do, so I just binged it.
Mm-hmm.
And I told you don't really need to watch episode 1 or 2 of season 2
Mm-hmm. I
because
watched them anyways, but yeah.
it was to me it was like filler.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going back to the island. I'm going back like that.
Mm-hmm.
But episode 3 started the Squid Games. And I remember I was watching it and I said to you, hey, I said, this has a lot of crazy elements in it. It's a lot of violence. And I said, there's also a slasher element. Did you see which one I was talking about with the slasher element?
Yeah, well, it happened several times with different characters, which I'm going to get into because I made a
But
little
what
bit of
game?
a
Okay, are you going to talk about the game then? There's a specific game that I was talking about.
well, because it happens towards the end of season 2, I'm going to talk about it when we get into season
Okay.
3 because
All
that's
right.
when the majority of that stuff
Okay.
happens.
All right.
But I do want to talk about some of the characters before we move on to season 3 because season 2 and 3 are kind of like one in my mind because I pretty much binged them.
They could have but they should have just made it season 2 and not called it a day, not add because it was 13 episodes.
Yeah, altogether it's 13 episodes for 2 and 3. So that really could have been one season.
Right.
But I got off topic. Where was I? I was talking about
The characters.
Thanos and how much of a bully he was, because that's what he literally was. He literally was a bully, and he also had this cross necklace or crucifix necklace, and inside of the crucifix were his pills. I don't know what drugs they were that he was taking. They seemed like they might have been some type of speed that he was taking in pill form, and one of his biggest people that he bullied was this character here, number 125. I don't even know why 125 came to the Squid Games. He literally is like the softest person to ever soft. Like all he does is look scared, and that's it. He just looks scared, and he wusses out like 100% of the time. Except, well, no, 99% of the time. He finally nutted up when he finally voted to go home. Even though, they were outvoted, he finally did something of his own volition, because any other time he was just straight. Even when he tried to help, he failed. Like when there was one girl that was helping him, and Thanos's homeboy was attacking her. So he was up on the top bunk, and he dropped a bottle, and the bottle, it bounced off the guy's head and shattered on the ground. And then the guy picked up a piece of the bottle that he dropped and stabbed the girl in the neck.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you tried to help and you still couldn't. By the way, Key is here in the chat. They say hello, Lady Shasha. Hello, Tonyman.
Hello. Did you understand what she meant when she said that to him? By the way, when she was like, those two are idiots. They're easy. What does she say to him? I'm trying to find the exact quote.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when he was talking to her? Keep talking. I'll find the quote because I know her name. And
I do remember her talking to him, and she was saying how he was more trustworthy than the other guys.
Yeah, but she said she basically said something else about it.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was.
I'm trying to find it right now.
But she did try to look out for him as much as she could until she got attacked.
Yeah, yeah. Park Min-soo, was it? No, that's Park Min-soo was a dude.
Yeah. No, Min-soo. I think that's his name. Player 125. He's Min-soo.
So, anyways, yeah. That was messed up, by the way. When she got stabbed in the neck, she was my favorite one. She was. Come on, let's go back to the beginning, please. Part one, because they did episode 3. They did the same thing with the with the red light, green light,
Hmm.
and player 456. Since he was there, we
He,
forgot that backstory.
yeah, he was trying to help everyone
He was
and
trying to
let them
help
know.
everybody, make everybody survive it. So,
And this is how we found out Thanos was a villain when he started pushing people so that they would be moving.
well, he didn't start it because he remember there was that girl that was like these costumes are ugly. I'd rather have yours to
He
the
did
guard because
start
it
because
was pink.
he told her there was a bee on her neck, and she started moving around and screaming because there was a
It
bee
was a
on her
bee on
neck.
her neck.
But he didn't have to tell her. He
Why
could have
not?
just left. He did it on purpose because he knew that she would scream and move around. He's evil.
And then he started skipping, but you
Yes.
kind of felt bad because he was. I mean, he just made me laugh like through the whole movie. Like he was making me laugh because he was trying.
Mm-hmm.
He was a troll.
Yes.
Let's be honest.
And I should also mention this other character because we talked about her briefly when we were talking about season 1, and that's the young lady from North Korea. She somehow was hired by the Squid Game and is now on the other side. If you look on the top right hand corner, that's her holding the mask with the triangle on it because she's now on
Mhm.
the other side, but she's kind of a double agent because she's also trying to stop the games.
Yeah, she was.
Hmm.
She was no. Well, yeah, because remember there was that little that side story
Hmm.
of what they were doing
Yeah, with
was
the
it.
bodies,
Yeah, there
because
were some guards were.
she thought she was helping by not mortally injuring people, like, she would shoot them in the arm or shoot them in the leg, and then she found out that, even though she wasn't mortally, um, killing people, that they were taking the bodies and harvesting the organs, and they actually wanted them to not be dead when they harvest the organs, to keep the
Was
organs fresh.
you sure that wasn't the opposite other way around? The other soldiers that were down with this thing were injuring the players because she's the one that shot the one on in the red light green light in the head
Yeah,
to kill him.
that's after she found out about the organ harvesting.
So the other guards,
Then
I
she
thought it
started
was the
mercy
other
killing.
guards doing it.
No, she started mercy killing people so that they couldn't harvest the organs, and then she, developed a plan to try to shut all that stuff down.
Okay, yeah,
That's
I
the way
see
I
what.
took it.
No,
I could
I
be
took it.
wrong.
I took it as the other. There were two guards that were in with the dudes in the basement,
Mhm,
and they were shooting people, but they weren't killing them because remember the guy said this guy's dead. I can't
mhm,
use his body. I can't use
mhm.
his pieces.
Yeah,
So they were like, we didn't do that. She did it. And they looked back on the thing and saw who did it. I thought that's what happened because she's the one that was mercy killing people.
mhm,
But yeah, it was her her quote, by the way, I can't seem to find it, so I'm gonna stop looking. But no, basically her quote was to that nerdy dude, you need to stand up for yourself.
mhm,
And then he said, so why are you with us or something? And she said, those two are easier to control or something like that. But she trusted him.
mhm.
And he turned around and was a bitch. Excuse
Yeah,
my
he was.
language.
He really was. No
He was
backbone. There's only
no,
one character that could give him a run for his money in bitch assness. I'll show you on the next slide.
go for it.
This dude right here with the glasses.
No.
Yes, he was also a bit of a bitch ass. He was weak. He was weak. Sorry. I
No,
mean,
you
he meant well, but he was weak.
yeah, maybe no. He he was a mama's boy.
Yes, very much so.
He was definitely a mama's boy.
I
But
loved his
yo,
mother. She was badass. I liked that
everybody loves his
she
mother.
had the little knife in her hairpiece. Like, that was smart.
And I can guarantee you were like, I want that.
No, actually was not thinking that at
Oh
all.
no.
No. But I was thinking about the most badass character. My favorite character of the season is this character here in the middle. She was badass. She saved so many people. Like, she really did her damnedest to try to help everyone.
And
And I liked how she became more confident. When she first came in there, her posture, everything was very kind of downtrodden, very ashamed of herself, very um what's the word, sullen, and
Shy.
and shy. And part of that is because she happens to be a trans woman in South Korea, and right now they're probably about the same as the US, where we act like we're super open, but we really still aren't. There's still a whole lot of homophobia and transphobia in the US. And I think the same thing is happening in South Korea, where they're trying to become more equitable, but
Hmm.
there's still more work that needs to be done. And I think coming from that situation, she felt that way, but she also says that she didn't want people looking at her because she hasn't completed her transition. So
Can
she
I
doesn't.
read? Sorry, go
Hmm?
ahead. I was gonna say, can I read you what the director said? Because I
Oh,
did
yeah.
save this
Yeah, go ahead.
about this character.
Hmm.
It says creative writer director Hwang Dong Hyuk told
Hmm.
TVGuide.com that he expected that kind of response about the character, but
Hmm.
revealed the quote unquote heartbreaking reason why he didn't cast a transgender female actor in the role.
Hmm.
Quote, I did anticipate such discussion to arise from the first moment I began creating. Damn it, why would you do that? Creating the character of Hong Jun,
Hmm.
Huang told the outlet. In the beginning, we were doing our research, and as I was thinking of doing an authentic casting of a trans actor, when we researched in Korea, they are close to no actors that are openly trans, let alone openly gay, because unfortunately in Korean society currently the LGBTQ community is rather still marginalized and more
Hmm.
neglected, which is very heartbreaking. Huang added that it was quote near impossible to find someone who we can cast authentically as a end quote as a trans woman, end quote, and that led us to the decision to cast Sung Hoon. He said, I have watched his work in playing many other queer roles in Korean projects ever since his debut, and I had complete trust in him that he would be the right person in terms of talent in portraying this character.
Hmm. I
So,
think it was a good choice. I think he did an amazing job playing her character. He
yes.
played her with so much depth
Yes,
that.
I actually was very sad.
Mhm.
Like I, you know, in the beginning, are we doing the best characters or are we doing the most worthless characters? Cuz there's another worthless character I just thought of. Two.
Well, they might come up in one of my slides for part
Okay.
3 because
But
I made a slide of the most awful characters,
all right,
so
well,
they might be on that slide.
and
But,
you were
right now, let's talk about the best characters because also
I
it
was trying
within
to
this.
add to
Oh,
that.
oh, go ahead.
I was going to say you were shocked as well as I was shocked when I found out that that character also played in your other favorite South
Oh, yeah,
Korean
The Glory.
drama. That's
Yes.
right. So
This
this
actor played in The
very
Glory, and
versatile.
mhm, extremely. I hope they get nominated for an Emmy for this, actually.
So, but my yeah, we'll talk. I guess we'll talk about favorite characters afterwards. But continue on.
Oh, I was just saying that her character, she did so many things that were like amazing when she helped organize the
Yep.
coup that they tried to stage to get out of there, and
Mm-hmm.
she used her military knowledge.
Yeah.
She also often helped the elderly mother more than her damn son did. I mean, I would stay on his behind, and she helped player True 22 who was pregnant throughout the games.
Yes. The Yes, I like that scene when they were doing the coup,
Mhm.
and they're like, "Does anybody want to get some guns or grab the guns?" And no, and they walked up,
Mhm.
and they were like, "This gun has a switch on it. This is automatic. This is single fire. Use your
Mhm.
single fire because you'll waste less bullets." And
Mhm.
everybody's like, "Huh, huh, huh." Like I
Yep.
was like, "Yeah, get him."
Yep.
He was pegging, dude. I'm sorry. She was pegging them guards from
Mhm.
across the fucking excuse my language, from across the Squid Gamey stairs. Like,
Mhm.
wow. And I was sitting there going, man, awesome. Continue. Sorry, I got
Mhm.
excited. Go ahead, continue
Yeah,
on.
she really got in her bag. Like I liked it a lot. I liked that sequence a lot. It was very tense and it was a long gunfight. Like that gunfight it felt like maybe it was 17 minutes.
Oh yeah, I
It
was.
did seem
Yeah,
like it was really it.
I was happy for that because it almost took like a whole episode.
Mhm. And I loved the, I would say, the guidance that, I don't know the player's name or number, but um I'll say bitch ass dude's mother. Her guidance of the other players was so good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she was always there to give a word of wisdom, to get people through the games, get their mind in the right headspace, that type of thing. She really was
Yeah.
special in that. And the scene that really showed not just the acting depth but the writing was when player 2022 went into labor, and she
Mm-hmm.
basically had to help her deliver the baby. And then the scene where they have, I forget her name again, is it player 130 or 120? I think she might be 120. When they have her hold the baby, and she just has this look of
Mother look
like she has a mother look on
or
her face. But
grandmotherly look. I say
no, no, no,
grandmotherly.
no. I'm talking about the
Yeah,
player that's
player
holding the baby.
149.
No,
The
no, no.
old lady.
I'm talking about the trans lady when they
Oh,
hand her the baby, and she has this look on her face that's like, I can't believe you're trusting me with this baby. I feel so, you know, I feel so accepted. That's what it kind of felt like. It felt like she
yeah.
felt like she was part of a family.
Yeah, well, it all started when she said, "When this is over with, you guys
Hmm.
come over to my house for
Yes,
dinner."
she did.
And she
Yeah,
said that,
the elderly woman, she basically adopted them and said, "You're gonna come to my house and we'll have dinner."
yeah, in the army lady was like in the corner. Oh, by the way, I have one of those things
What things?
that Miss Moon was eating, and the kimbap.
Oh, where'd you get kimbap from?
When I went to the Korean store the other day and got to get the noodles,
Hmm.
they had a spam kimbap, and I
Oh, I
bought it.
didn't know that.
Yeah, it was just spam, rice,
Hmm.
and seaweed, but it was really
Okay.
good. It was really
Yeah.
filling. I loved it. I was like, ah, kimbap. But
Hmm.
no, when even like she had said, you guys can all come, and she was. I just love how she was. Wasn't she steadfast with the voting, which was a twist from last game? They had a vote after each game who
Hmm.
wants to continue and who doesn't,
Yeah.
and she was always the X. Like she was
Hmm.
like, no, I don't want to do this anymore. Because and if you remember, there was a lot of ageism in this too, because a lot of people did not want her on their group because she was old.
Yes. There was.
There were some old ass men there too, but they would take those old ass men did not want to go with her. They were like, no.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Because
she was my sentimental favorite. Both of them were.
yes.
And I got to a point in this season two where I
Hmm.
was just like, you know what? Forget this. I'm not gonna invest my emotions in any of these characters anymore because they always seem to die. So forget it.
That
And I just
that's
watched it.
Yeah, that's the same thing with me. I tried my hardest to not get invested. Like, I'm not gonna get invested. I'm not gonna invest it because I know what's gonna happen. I still got invested, and I still
Yeah.
felt hella sad when characters were no longer with us. Like,
Yeah.
man, it's a difficult watch. It really is a difficult watch, but that is also good writing, because
Oh yeah.
if they don't make you care about the characters, you're not gonna care when what happens to them.
Believe it or not, and this
Hmm.
has probably has nothing to do with it, but since I've been rewatching Boardwalk Empire,
Hmm.
I'm starting to understand now the characters, and I'm starting to like certain characters more than other certain characters. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah.
Because it's great story writing.
Hmm.
I just like good stories, like a good story.
Hmm.
But okay, so on to yeah, you have your next slide ready?
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, slide number 3 or
This
4.
is Squid Game season 3. And this one, I mean, the stakes are raised as high as you could possibly ever raise them. It's wild. We
Wait,
still,
wait, wait. Hold on, wait. Before you say that, was so then the one I was talking about was in season 2 because yes, season
well, it
2.
was it was halfway because season 2 left off on a cliffhanger.
Okay,
So it was partially in season 2 and partially in season 3. And that, I think you're thinking of the game where they had to go through the different doors.
Hide and seek.
Yeah, it's basically the most sadistic hide and seek.
Yeah, because some players would
Mm-hmm.
get knives, the other ones got keys,
Mm-hmm.
and the doors only opened once. Like when you unlocked it, that was it. It was open,
Mm-hmm.
and that
Mickey
one.
Latte. Hold on, Mickey Latte says, "Wait, you got visuals?" Yes, I tried. I tried to get some visuals. I feel like if I'm not on camera, that I should at least provide some visuals, to assist with what we're talking about to make it more interesting.
But with that game, the hide and
Mm-hmm.
seek game, that other dude came into his own. The one that was like, I keep telling him how to. I bought drugs off of Thanos, and he kept
Oh,
saying my
I,
name wrong.
I got him. I got him on the next slide.
Okay,
I wanted to talk about just the in general season 3, and then we'll get into. I have several slides that are specifically about villains.
okay.
So in season 3, we continue the hide and seek game, and what makes the hide and seek game very interesting is that they come into this room and they have to go to this gumball machine. It looks like a giant gumball machine and take a ball out, but there's only 2 color balls in the machine, red and blue. If you get a red ball, then you are a
Josh,
seeker, and
wait,
if you
hold
get
on. Stop there. Faux Mickey Latte says they're not showing up on the screen.
at all,
She's saying it right there.
hold on.
You see it?
Yeah, let me hold on. I'm gonna pull it up on my phone to see how I can correct this. Oh, that is not cool. What I might have to do is
Go back. Restart
hold on.
again? Not restart again, but
No.
why are you doing that?
Okay, what's displaying on the screen is hold on. Let me see if that works. All right, I'm gonna remove the screen and then put it back. Add to stage. Okay, now the right one is up. So what I'm gonna have to do, what I'm gonna have to do is it's not moving back. I could swear I just rewound this, but it's not going back where I need it to go.
Well,
hold on.
Go
there we go.
There you go.
What I'm gonna have to do is probably re-upload this with the visuals on it when we finish. Because yeah, because that sucks. I didn't know that the visuals weren't. I should have had the screen playing on my phone, and then I would have known. Darn. Next time I'll do that. Next time I'll make sure that I have a second screen. Yeah, I've had
showed
visuals
up on
this
my
whole.
thing.
No, I mean on our display on the computer it's showing, but on their end it wasn't showing.
Oh.
And I didn't know that because I wasn't watching it from the other side. Usually what I would do is pull up the stream on my phone so I can see how it's looking, and I didn't do that today. And
thanks, Fo. Good looking out.
Yes, thank you. Well, at least they'll see the. You know what? What I might do is go back through these slides.
Go for it.
When we finish this section, I'll go back to the beginning to show everybody what the slides were.
Remember, it's theater of the mind. So
yes. So hopefully I described it well. But what was I going to say?
You're talking about season 3 and how they had the hide and seek game.
Yeah, in the hide and seek game, they had a giant gumball machine where they would select either a red or a blue ball, and then if you received the red ball, you got a red smock, and you would be the seeker. You also received a knife. If you had a blue ball, you received a blue smock and a key, and you were the hider. And the keys would open different doors within this maze that you can hide. The gag is that some of those doors lead to bottomless pits from hell. Like you open the door and there's nothing. Yep. Like if you ran through that door, you're falling into that and you're going to pass away. So,
but also there was an exit. The guy said there were exits.
Yeah, there were exits. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But in order for you to get through the exit, you needed all 3 keys, because all the people that had keys, your key either was a triangle, a circle, or a square. So you needed one of each to unlock the final door, because there's 3 locks on it. So you needed all 3.
Therein lies the trick.
Mm-hmm. Now, the three that would have made it out had, certain things didn't. If they hadn't suffered certain misfortunes, would be the army girl, the pregnant girl, and the elderly lady. They would have made it out because they had all three keys and they were so close to the exit.
They were.
The army girl had found the exit. She went back to get the other two,
Mm-hmm.
but the pregnant girl was giving birth, and then the person who ended up literally stabbing the army girl in the back was it the father of the baby that
Baby
stabbed her?
daddy.
Yeah, the baby daddy stabbed her in the back.
That was questionable. He was there because he sold Thanos and that other dude, a couple people, some Bitcoin
whacked out Bitcoin. He
that
ran
didn't
he ran a cryptocurrency scam.
right.
And,
So he was not to be trusted.
mm-hmm.
And he was like, "I'm going to protect her," and he
Mm-hmm.
stabbed the army girl straight in the back,
Mm-hmm.
like for no reason at all.
Yeah. And then at the same time, we still have the special agent. You see him there with the gun, and he's still looking for his brother in the island of the Squid Game. He's trying his damnedest to try to find that island, but there's something that is impeding him from finding the island. I'll show it on the next slide. But yeah,
I'm sorry. Also, with the game, the stabbers, as I like to call them, if you stab one person, you're on to the next round.
Mm-hmm.
But two people teamed up, so they had to stab two people because there was a half a person apiece.
Mm-hmm.
And then they just said, "Hey, you know what? The more people we stab and kill, the less people, the more money we get because we're survivors. Because we already stabbed our two people, so they started stabbing. They went stab on a lot of people, which made it to me feel like a horror movie.
Yes,
because it was that was probably the most tense one for me. Because
there were some people like once you stabbed one person, then you won, quote unquote, won the game, and you were able to continue. But there were certain people that once they stabbed one person, it's like they got addicted to killing, and they just wanted to keep stabbing people for
that's
fun.
What I said. That's exactly what I said.
Mm-hmm. And as you can see in the bottom center, when the young lady gave birth to her baby, the evil overlords made the baby a player in the game, and that's the baby is the new player 222.
Well, you're jumping ahead, man.
Yeah, I just noticed I forgot to mention that the mother actually sacrificed herself because of this game on the top right corner, that jump rope game.
During
yeah,
you're still jumping ahead because during the hide and seek game, she broke her ankle.
Yes, she fell down the stairs and broke her ankle.
She fell down the stairs, broke her ankle. Her ankle was disgustingly swollen.
Yes.
After she gave birth. And so they kept her. The army girl and old lady looked out for her as long as they could, as much as they could.
She actually broke her ankle before she gave birth. I actually think that's what induced her labor, her falling down the stairs.
Okay. So then, yes. So then, the old lady didn't show up because her son ended up dying. Remember that?
Well, they didn't show how she passed. There was a montage.
Oh no, they did. No, they showed how she passed.
No, they didn't show how the elderly lady passed. They showed a montage.
They did. No, they showed it. You didn't see it?
No.
She was hanging from the bunk. She hung herself after she talked to 456 when he had the handcuffs on, and she was like, "You're a good person. I know you're a good person, and my son this and my son that." And then she kissed the baby, and then the next morning for the next game, for the jump rope game, you didn't hear somebody look up and scream. That was because she was hanging from the metal thing. She hung herself.
For some reason, I thought that was somebody else. I didn't.
No, that was her.
Because I remember seeing her in the coffin and then putting a lid on the coffin.
No, that's what. To be honest, I had looked away for a second because of that. There was a whole drama scene, so I looked away. I looked at my phone for a minute. I looked back and I saw the coffin part 2, and I said, "Wait a minute." how the hell did she die? So
And
then
then
I
you rewound
rewound
it.
it back a little bit. Yes. And then I watched the whole thing of her talking, and you could tell she was depressed because she
Mhm.
lost her son.
Mhm.
And it was just her talking to 456 and saying that all the side note, everyone, is that throughout the whole game, he keeps saying he didn't want to say it in the beginning. He was just like, please follow me. This game, blah, 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 and then out of some sort of argument, he said, I've been here before. I won this. And the people, there was a majority of people that had X's because they believed him. But then you had the other jerk off people. They're like, he didn't. He's probably lying. He's gonna get his. He does. He just wants the money off for himself, not thinking. They're like in their own mind,
Mhm.
blinded by the greed.
Mhm.
So she's telling the old lady's like, listen, I know you. I trusted you from the jump. You won the game. I believed you. I understand you, but and she's like, you're a good person at heart, and you'll always be a good person at heart. And then the next morning is where because he was sitting there with his arm in the thing, and as the light showed up, he looked over and you can see her hanging. But okay,
He was sitting there handcuffed to the bunk because
because he did the
he pretty
coup,
much, yeah, because of the coup.
which 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 we forgot to say as well. Unless you're gonna add it next one, but
It's gonna be on the
um,
next slide
okay,
because
all right,
it's a reveal.
okay.
I will mention a little bit about the games because, like I was saying, in the top right corner, they have the jump rope game across that bridge. That's like, I don't know how high it is above the ground, but high enough that you will pass away if you fall off that bridge. And yet another villain, because this guy here, as
Oh,
people were completing the jump rope challenge and they
yeah.
made it across to that side, he was pushing them into the pit so that he would have a larger take of the money.
Yep. As soon as they made it across, he was like, shove.
Hmm.
And I was
And
like, damn,
then
man, messed up.
And then in the bottom left corner was the final game where you see the three different shapes there, where each they would have to start out on the square shape and they would have to select one person to push off the edge in order to advance to the next shape, which is the triangle. Then they would have to select somebody to push off the edge there to make it to the circle.
Yeah.
But they started fighting amongst themselves, and we'll get to how that ends in a further
Right.
slide.
To
And
add to,
then
I'm
mhm,
sorry, just to add to your thing, okay. So when you said the young lady offed herself, which she
mhm,
did, but she was, I'll give the background for the people that are listening. She was trying it. She had her baby. She was like, I'm going to win this. For the jump rope one, she was
mhm,
going to try to do the jump rope, but her ankle was so nasty, and it was two Squid Game people, and they're swinging that giant jump rope, which was with steel bridge cable. It looked like, so when
mhm,
if it hits you, you're going off the edge anyways. So she in 456 was like, you know what? Let me go first. I'll get the baby. I'll bring the baby across. I'll leave the baby over here, and I'll come back to get you. And they had like maybe 10 minutes to do it. So he
mhm.
was like, I'll come back to get you. So he did it. I saw the behind the scenes of that, by the way. It's pretty cool. So he did it,
So he
and
brought the baby across.
yeah, and then all of a sudden the stream of people started coming after him, like they wanted him to do it first to see how to do it. So then he couldn't get back to the girl, and the time
Mhm,
was ticking down, and it got to like maybe 10 seconds, and she just like sat there and made her and so was talking to baby daddy, and then made her peace with God, and went whoop. She threw herself off the edge because she wasn't
mhm.
going to make it regardless,
And also her baby daddy didn't offer to bring the baby across, which was
or her, or even try to
or
help.
or or her, and it was, which is a tell. A tell. Well, it was a tell from the beginning when he wouldn't tell anyone that he was the her baby daddy,
No, he
or
just no.
the father of the child she was carrying.
Yeah,
So, but we'll um like I mentioned, this guy in the top right corner being a villain, he's not the only one, and neither is Thanos. Um, I made a class. This is part one of Squid Game 3 villains.
yes,
It was a lot. Now, we mentioned Thanos, his homeboy over here with the long hair. equally bad. He was the one that got very excited about being able to kill people, and so he just kept doing it. He also was high 99% of the time because he stole Thanos's crucifix with the drugs in them. So he
Yes, he
was,
did.
yeah. And then he's when Minho, was it Minho?
The young lady.
No, the young boy that was scared all the time.
Yeah. Oh,
I forget his name. I want to say it was Minho, but it probably isn't. Or Minso. Minso. It might have been Minso. But the young boy that was scared all the time, he
hmm
stole the crucifix. And so this character in the bottom right with the longer hair, he started going through DTs because he needed his drugs so bad. And he was like,
that's when that nerdy kid stood up for himself
yes,
because
for
he was like,
once.
but it was empty. Remember
Yeah,
because he was
he
taking
threw
him.
it.
So
Mm-hmm. And then if you look over here on the left, this character who came into the game and befriended character number 456, he is revealed to be the guy that's in this black mask down here
from season 1.
from season 1. And it's crazy how that happened to 456 twice. First with the
Yes.
number 001, and then with this one, like how you let a villain befriend you twice.
Yo, but homeboy had. Did you notice his wall of crazy?
No, I didn't.
You didn't even notice his wall of crazy when was it 456? Somebody went up to the office,
Mm-hmm.
and if you looked, there was a wax figure of the old man wearing the 001 outfit in a case.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was like, what the hell? he had to but he played it good. Like it was funny because YouTube did not remember him. As soon as I saw him when he came, at 001 in the game,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yo, that's the dude.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was sitting there drinking his scotch. And then the episode ended, or I think it was the episode ended, and then the next episode he was in there
Mm-hmm.
acting. But he was, I don't know if he was trying to mess up the game, some of the games on purpose. Like the top.
He probably was. Doc Kaiju says, hi, Lady Shasha, Tonyman, and fam. Hey, Doc Kaiju.
Hi, Doc Kaiju. Yeah, but I mean, and then, okay, I'm sorry, I threw you off your game. Please go ahead.
A secondary villain is the boat captain who was running interference, trying to make sure that the agents did not find the island. He was also an a-hole. And this whole group of dudes right here, these four here.
I like to call them the 1%ers.
The 1%ers. These are all dudes that they all got debt from mostly their bad stock investments and stuff like that. Like they just didn't care about nobody but themselves.
That one in the middle.
Oh yeah, character number 100. Know what he reminds me of? Remember the businessman that was on the train in the Train to Busan?
Yep.
That's what the older businessman. That's what he reminds me of.
Oh, we have a comment from Doc Kaiju.
Doc says, I still haven't seen season 2, but I'm here on mute for support. I want to watch it, but don't have time. Oh, you got to check it out. Because we're talking about season 3 right now. It goes off the rails. I'll tell you that. It goes completely off the rails.
And if you want to save yourself a couple episodes, and if you've seen season 1, then start from season 2, episode 3, and go from there. And you'll get. Trust me, it's not hard to get what's going on. It wasn't hard for me, but it's that if you just want to see the Squid Games and not like a little backstory. Oh, there was one backstory I forgot that I didn't. We forgot to mention.
And what's that?
The girl, the one that was shooting the people from North Korea. If you remember, she was also the piggy at the Six Flags or whatever they want to call it in Korea, South Korea.
Yeah.
When that little girl went in the room to say hi, and she started crying, and then the dad took her. The dad was in the Squid Games because remember she had the shot on him, and she saw his face, and she couldn't take the shot. because
Yeah,
she knew who it was.
and she helped him to escape. Hmm.
She helped him to, or no, I'm sorry, she injured him
Yes.
and then went down into the basement where they were, and they just like ransacked everybody in there, killed everybody in there,
Hmm.
and switched outfits with a guard for
Hmm.
him to get out. And she was just like, "I'm trying to help you escape. Get out, get your daughter," because his daughter had cancer.
Hmm.
So she did have a heart.
Hmm. She did.
That was another, like, there were so many stories with it was like it was a lot of stories intertwined into a giant story. It was like
Hmm.
a ball of yarn.
Yes.
It was like one thread, and then you get your little thread to twiggle, wiggle, wiggle, and then go sew it all into a giant ball. But
Hmm.
I'm sorry, continue on with the evil people. Would you? Oh, here's my question. Would you say 001 was more this season 3, the financial backer?
Hmm.
Would you say he was more evil than the one right below him, or just as evil, or was the one below him less evil?
I think everyone on, well, not everyone, but the three, Thanos, his homeboy, and these evil stock broker dudes, they're on the same level of evil. But I have got a character I think is more evil than than all of those guys.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
the next slide. That's this dude,
Oh
because
yeah,
he was willing.
baby daddy.
He was willing to kill his own child
He was.
to keep all the money.
He
You
was.
can't get more evil than that.
He was like, drop the baby,
Mhm.
drop him, because the evil dude, 100 dude, they were like,
Mhm.
well, even on those those planks, like Lady Shasha said, you had to at least kill. You had 15 minutes,
Yeah.
and
To
you had to
decide who
kill.
was gonna be thrown off the edge.
Right. So and what they did and the first one is well, another backstory was 001
Mhm.
had decided to invite 456 up to his, that's where he saw when he invited him up to his office, and
Mhm.
he said, listen, these guys are conspiring against you and this kid. They're going to kill you in your sleep. Take this knife. To them, I'm going to take this knife and you kill them while in their sleep. These the 100 and every the last 5, 6, 7 survivors, kill them
Mhm.
in their sleep, and you can go about your business. No guards will stop you or nothing, because they're going to get you. And 4 or 5, they gave 4, 5, 6 a knife, and he went
Mhm.
down there and he could not kill the people. He couldn't kill them in their sleep. Could you? Would you have done it?
No, I couldn't have. I don't think I could have done it.
He was, but he was, so he was trying to. But then they gave the flashback of old man 001 telling the backer the same
Mhm.
thing. You remember that?
Yes.
And they showed him stabbing the people in their sleep to be the winner in the final game, to be the only person. So there is another thread. So what I was saying was, on these stands, there's like 5 or 6 people left, and they were just getting rid of people with a pole, that big pole that you see with the dude with the white. He had
Mhm.
a giant pole, and he was like not pole vaulting, but like, jousting. Um, what I felt bad for was on the second one, when they were like, you know what? He doesn't want to get rid of the baby. I'll tell you what we'll do, since we got to get rid of somebody here. And they just sucker punched one dude and they stomped the hell out of him.
Mhm.
And they broke his leg. And they're like, now he's our sacrifice for the third part. Was it the second one? It was either on the first one or the second one. But they were like, now he's our sacrifice. He can't move. We'll just throw him over.
Mhm.
And he didn't want to do it. Remember, he was like, I don't want to be that. And he just
He said, "I
rolled
don't want to be
himself.
your lunchbox."
Yep. And he rolled himself over and whoop.
Mhm.
So yeah, it was very but yes, this dude was a jerk. But go ahead. I'm
Mhm.
sorry. I didn't mean to get off on a tangent. You could tell I
We
really like this the show.
then we have another group of villains that have to be discussed.
Oh, I wouldn't even call them villains. You know what? Yeah, they
They
were
are
villains.
they were the biggest villains because they're the people who pay to watch the Squid Game. They
And
are the people
they're
and
yeah,
and now they were when they were in the red suits there. they were very excited to participate in actually shooting people and saying how much it was more fun than going on safari in Africa, which I
Hmm.
find abhorrent to begin with. Like if I ever see people that have the safari pictures, that's what um what's his name? Trump's sons have pictures like that of themselves in Africa standing over dead tigers and elephants and stuff. Like that's just sick. If you just want to kill something for fun, that is sick.
Yeah, they were the guards because during the hide and seek, they said
Mhm.
if you don't find the exit doors, the guards
Mhm.
coming in here and they're going to shoot you,
Yep.
and that was them. But I think that they were more evil butchering the English language because their
Oh yeah.
voiceovers were absolutely horrible.
Yeah. Well, I didn't hear the original, so I
No,
can't
I'm.
compare it.
Oh, it's-
I listened to the dub because I was watching it in the bedroom and I didn't feel like wearing my glasses to watch to
oh,
read
I no,
subtitles
I
because
watched it in Korean.
yeah, the
I wa-
TV in the
I
bedroom is smaller, so I have to wear my glasses in order to see the subtitles. But when I'm in bed, I don't feel like wearing my glasses, so I put on the dubs.
no, I've watched it in the South Korean
Hmm.
and their voiceovers for the South Korean from it might have been their same voices because there were a lot of complaints online about their voiceovers, and
Hmm.
I think one of them spoke up and said that it was just because it was the audio voiceover, and he said
Hmm.
he apologized for being so horrible. One of the backers did. He went online and said, "Listen, I'm sorry that it was so horrible," because there were a lot of complaints, but
Hmm.
they were just a more useless to me. They were annoying. Like I didn't like them at all. Like
You're not supposed to like them.
why didn't? But
They
then
play with human life as if it's inconsequential, but it's because they don't see themselves the same as the people that are in the Squid Game.
and they're the ones. It wasn't the backer. It was them that all had a vote that they said, well, 222 is dead. Well, uh,
Make her baby a
make your
player.
baby 222.
Hmm.
And that's how she had the 222 little sweatshirt on,
Hmm.
but also had the 456 because that's 456 sweatshirt he was carrying with. But they were like, no, she's in the game, or hey, everybody that's in this game and that's a player, it's his baby.
Hmm.
It was the most disgusting thing I've ever heard in my life. I'm like, God, really?
But it's an allegory for what's really going on right now. When people vote against um, having prenatal care covered or vote against protecting children in schools, you're saying you don't care whether children live or die. When companies can get away with have producing um, baby formula that's toxic and the government does nothing, you're saying you don't care about the babies.
They didn't care about us when we were kids either, from back in
It,
the day.
it doesn't make it right. And the
It doesn't.
problem that I have with people when they watch Squid Game is they think it's funny. They want to recreate the Squid Game like with Mr. Beast, and they're not getting the
Yeah.
context of what the story is trying to teach you about society and having people who are oligarchs. They're not getting it.
You know,
Of course, they didn't get it with the Matrix either. You have a whole group of people calling themselves Red Pill and completely not understanding what the hell that meant.
or blue pilled.
Or blue, either way, they're not understanding the context of what they're calling
No.
themselves at all.
And
Same
then
thing
you
with
have
using the word woke. Woke means to be aware of what's happening around you. So if you say you're anti woke, that means you don't want to be aware of what happens around you. That's stupid. And they use woke as a term. What they're really saying is, I don't like seeing black people, queer people, women. That's woke. It's a person's existence is woke. A person who is not white, male, heterosexual, their existence is woke. That makes no sense. That you just sound stupid when you say. I hope people who do this, you know that you sound stupid.
you know what I've always said this from the time I was 17 till now.
Mm-hmm.
Democrat, Republican, they're two different sides of the wing on the same bird. None of them care. Like George Carlin said a long time ago, neither one of them care. They're
Um,
rich. They're
I would say
rich.
yes, yes, and no, and this is why. And I've explained this to you before. On both sides, they don't care, but one side is actively trying to do things to harm people, whereas the other side is not. So
What
one is
that the
slightly
one side?
worse.
So the
One
one
side,
side
I'll
that's
put it this way:
one side.
one side punched you in the face, the other side is trying to slice your throat. I'll take the punch in the face over the sliced throat.
Actually, I think a better analogy is one side would stab you in the front, the other side would pat you on the back and stab you at the same time.
I disagree because one side is not trying to stab you. There's literally
Listen,
one side that's trying to take people's rights away and the other side that's not. You can't compare the two.
all right, on to the other
They're
thing.
both no, don't cut me off because I'm being dead ass. There's one part that I agree with you that they both are in it for the money. Politicians in general are in it for the money. But there's a difference between someone being in it for the money and someone actively doing things to harm people, like taking away your weather forecasting service, taking away just the EPA and environmental protections. Like you're literally trying to kill people. There's a difference between that and you taking some extra handouts from corporations so that you get more return on your investments. You can't see the difference between someone being money hungry and someone actively trying to harm people.
They're still bad.
No, you keep saying they're still bad like they're even. It's not even. There's levels. I'll put it this way. Would you rather I steal $5 out of your pocket, or would you rather I burn your house down? You see how there's levels?
Either way, I'm not eating, huh?
But one is worse
Either
than the
way,
other.
I'm not eating.
No, the second one, you're not eating, you're not sleeping, you don't even have a place to shower. You don't see the levels? You don't see the difference in levels? You're really making me worry about your comprehension.
This wasn't supposed to be a political podcast, but
you cannot say it's not political when that's literally what Squid Game is. Squid Game is.
I thought it was more class.
No, class is political.
Okay, rich versus poor.
Yes, very much so. But a lot of this is how you tie it to politics. It's very much rich versus poor. But what happens with some politics is that you have a certain group of poor people blaming another group of poor people for what the rich people are doing to them. Ergo, the immigrants are taking our jobs. No, the immigrants aren't taking your jobs. The corporations are investing in robots and let me finish.
Greed.
The corporations are investing in AI and robots to take your jobs. The immigrants aren't taking your jobs. But since the oligarchs have told you to point the finger at the immigrants, that's what you're doing. So you have one group of poor people pointing their finger at a group of poorer people and blaming them instead of blaming the actual people who are messing you over. So yes, it's political. If you watch Squid Game and don't understand the politics of it,
I understood the class. I understood the class. I understood the classism. Kind of like that other show that I watched called The Platform. That was about class too.
Yes. But you cannot divorce class from politics because politics creates class. Fomikilati says being happy for other people is also woke. Yes, this is true. Kindness. They called the new Superman woke because he's kind. Fomikilati said people just existing is political. Yes. But I just need you to understand that the two groups are not equal. I don't think I am not ashamed to say it. I don't think Kamala would have invested extra money in ICE and tried to defund the FBI and the CIA. I don't think Kamala would have okayed it for them to fire air traffic controllers. These are not things that are helpful to society. So yeah, the Democrats are greedy and they're full of shit, but they're not actively trying to kill people.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
All right.
Oh, well, I'll end with this about the politics. I'll quote Philip DeFranco. You may not fuck with politics, but politics will definitely fuck with you.
What did George Carlin say?
He said a lot of stuff. You got to narrow it down. What did George Carlin say?
About politics?
Mm-hmm.
He said it's a party that they all have, and you're not invited.
Yes. But
So
I think we at this point, remember when George Carlin was alive, the Republican Party wasn't as whacked out as it is today. Like they still had a semblance of like
you know what's
not
funny about that you
of
said that now?
knowledge. Yeah.
No, what's funny about that you're saying that now, of how this boardwalk empire is based in almost like reality to an extent about
Well,
characters and
well,
politics.
well, it wasn't. Well, let me
Well,
finish. What I said. Wait, you're misquoting me. What I said was that they took characters from reality, like Al Capone, like Rockefeller. These were real people in the past, and
but
then
in the 1920s,
they also infused in the story the cultural aspects of the different groups of people who became white.
in the
Because during the
political
time,
parties,
yeah,
because
in the political
if you
party,
remember, well, you probably haven't watched it, but I've been watching it, and
hmm
the Republican Party in 1920 was trying to get the women to vote for them, trying to get
yes,
the black vote. The
yes,
Democrats weren't. The Democrats were, we don't want it this way. We want good old boy network, which
yeah, and
is
then they
amazing to
flip
me.
flopped. They flip flopped.
So,
I don't know why. I would have to look into that but something happened around the 60s and 70s that made the political parties flip flop. It's
but
very weird.
but yes, as I was saying, this Squid Games, like I said, it was classism. When I watched it, it just reminded me of the platform. And for the people that haven't seen the platform, it's where would you say that show's from?
It's a movie,
A movie from
and
what, Scandinavia or something?
I thought it was from Spain, but I'm not 100% sure. I
It-
will look it up. Let me look right now.
all right. While you're looking it up, I'll explain it. The platform is these people wake up on each floor of this platform, and when you like so throughout the whole, almost like the movie, the platform is going down to the bottom, and there's never really any like food. There's like food's all gone. What it turns out was that what's going on is that at the very, very top are all the rich people, and they're eating the food, and then the platform drops down to the first level, and those are like, the let's say not as rich as the people above them, but rich. So in succession, it goes down, and then the poor people at the very bottom of the platform get the nothing. They get the scraps
Whatever's left over.
from
It's
the rich folks from on top.
it's basically a dramatization of trickle down economics and why trickle down economics don't work. Are you familiar with trickle down
Yes,
economics?
I know what trickle down economics is.
Yeah, it's basically what Reagan was for, because he felt that if the people at the top made more money, then they would pay their employees more, then everything would trickle down. But they didn't. Rather than them paying their employees more, putting more back into society, they
Uh-huh.
outsource their companies so that they can pay
Keep
people even less
keep the money
and keep
to
more of the
do what?
money.
To be what? Rich.
Yes, to stay rich. But
Thank you.
what makes it sick though is that they could be rich and still pay people. Like
But they don't.
this is why people say there's no reason for someone to be a billionaire, because if you're a billionaire, you have more money than you can ever spend in 5 lifetimes. And yet you still have billionaires that underpay their staff
Yeah, Jeff
when they
Bezos,
literally
we're
could
looking at you.
still. Hmm?
I said Jeff Bezos, we're looking at you.
Oh, there's a bunch of them. You got Bezos, you have Zuckerberg, you have Musk, he has like not only underpaid these people, he has racially discriminated against them, and in some cases, I think there's a couple of sexual harassment suits against. Elon has at least 17 lawsuits against him.
I saw, I saw,
Monthly.
I saw, before we have to get back on this topic, but I saw, I don't know how true it is. I would have to look it up, but
Hmm.
like on Instagram, someone put like a fact that was like Bezos has so much money that it would take him 630 630 years to spend every dollar he has.
Hmm.
That's how much money he has. And I'm like, why doesn't he just distribute the wealth? But no, he wants to get a cruise ship yacht, not
Hmm.
and kill his employees in the warehouses, and then
Yeah,
phase them out to get robots.
robots.
Because I
Hmm.
saw an article today that was like, oh, Amazon robot worked 24 hours straight today. And
Hmm.
I'm like, really? This is what we're doing now.
Yep.
But back to season 3.
It all ties together because those people sitting up there in that room, how much you think they paid to watch the Squid Game? They're billionaires. You
It
know that
was
they're billionaires.
what was distasteful and made me detest them a lot too was
Mhm.
during the platform game when they're up there eating like shrimp off of little toothpicks and eating fruit, and they're like, I bet you $100 4 5 6 doesn't make, come on, and they're betting on them like they're racehorses. And if you look at the nuance
Mhm.
for the thing, they had their numbers on horses,
Mhm.
and they would just knock them off when they would hit the ground. Like,
Mhm.
but they those were horses, and I think that's why our friend at the end says, "I'm not a horse, I'm a human." And then was gonna say something else, and it just said, "I'm a human." Dot dot dot. But continue on so we can get to the end of it, or are you gonna do your commercial?
Oh, no, no. I was just thinking to myself about how the baby factors into the show and how the oligarchy within the show wants the baby to participate in the games. And it just made me think about how right now, because we were having the discussion about the different political parties and how one political party is pushing what they call themselves pro-life, but they're actually not pro-life. They're pro-birth. They could give a damn about the baby once it's born. But what doesn't make sense is they have all these initiatives to try to push women to have children, but at the same time, I had to keep asking, why do they want the women to have all these babies? If you're not going to have jobs for the babies because you have robots, you're prepping for robots and AI to do the jobs, and you're not going to protect them in school. You're not even going to feed them in school. They voted, repeatedly not to feed the children in school. Even with one politician saying that any child over the age of 8 should be working. Like they're really trying to go back to the 1920s on people here. That's why I say you can't compare the two parties. One party, yeah, they're soft, they full of shit, and they want to line their pockets. The other party's just doing stuff that's just evil for no reason. Like why try to take gay people's rights away? How is that hurting you? Why try to take women's rights away and their choices away for their body autonomy? How is that harming you? Like they're just doing stuff that makes no sense. That's why I can't compare the two, because one seems, a little dirty, but the other one just seems evil. And you can't compare. I can't compare a thief to a murderer. It's two different things. They're both criminals, but one is way worse criminal than the other.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And that's why it's like that with these villains. That's why I put the slide 3 that these oligarchs are the worst villains because they have no
Where are you
reason.
getting this term oligarchs from, by the way? That's like the fourth
Uh,
time you use this term. I've never heard you use it.
it just came to me when I was watching the show. Is the term that when I was watching Squid Game, a couple things uh, it brought to mind. Have you ever read the book Animal Farm?
I started reading it, yes,
You
but I'm
got to
more into
finish that.
1984.
Yeah, in 19 I was going to say 1984 as well. And when I was thinking about 1984, I thought about the proletariat class and the oligarchs. That's what they were called in the book 1984, and that's what made me think of this particular those particular terms, because watching Squid Game was making me think of Animal Farm and making me think of the book
Okay,
1984.
oligarch, a very rich business leader with a great deal of political influence, particularly
Mhm.
referencing individuals who benefited from the privatization of state-run industries after the collapse of the Soviet Union.
Mhm.
Okay.
But we're starting to have our own oligarchs because if you notice at that inauguration, who was sitting behind Trump? Zuckerberg, Bezos. I mean, that's the definition of an oligarch. It's a rich business person who gets involved in politics. Oh, and don't forget Musk. That's another one. Gets involved in politics. The only difference is that the United States hasn't collapsed yet. But if it keeps going the way it's going, it will collapse.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Hmm. And so I think the people with the masks on, they aren't technically oligarchs, but they represent the oligarchy.
Yeah.
within the world of the Squid Game itself, because they control what happens to these people, and they just have dinner and sip their drinks while people die. And that's literally what's happening. I mean, if you really want to be mad, Tony Man, look up some of the statements that certain politicians have said after those little girls drowned in Texas. It's sick.
I'm looking up not only what a political people said, but streamers have said. So let's go there too if we're going to go there.
Well, that's again, you keep making comparisons that don't make sense. I don't care what a streamer says. A streamer doesn't have
Could they
power.
have been quoting what? Could they have been quoting what she said?
They could be quoting that, but a streamer is just a person that's on, like you and I are streamers. Do we have political power? All the only power we have is the power to speak up. That's all we can do. But I'm not going to compare a streamer to an actual politician whose job it is to take care of certain things. These are not equal because of status and power.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
All us streamers can do is run our mouths, but we don't actually have a lot of political power. It's possible for someone that maybe has a larger following to have, like someone like a Joe Rogan might have a political power because of the amount of following he has. Maybe what he says could move the needle. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I
But
was
us regular lower level, or I shouldn't even say lower level because I don't think I'm lower than them, but power wise, I have a lower level of power, but I'm not a lower level of life form.
right.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I know. Yeah. So,
But like I said, you can't talk about Squid Games without talking about politics. The two are intertwined. They just are. And I think that this series will probably be studied. I could see in the future certain teachers the same way that we were. Well, I don't know if you had it in your curriculum, but the reason why I read Animal Farm in 1984 was my teachers had us read it starting in 8th grade, and I could see in the future certain teachers, maybe not in the United States, because that's another thing that a certain political party is trying to do: ban books, ban the political discussion in classrooms, pretty much.
like they did in the 40s.
Yeah, yeah. But in other countries that still have a free school system, they might watch Squid Game. I would say an edited version of Squid Game, because they probably can't show the violence, but they could probably show certain scenes to teach the children about different things in politics. Or you know what? Let me take it back. It wouldn't be school, young school children, college. I could see a professor using this as a teaching material. I think it's a little too violent for younger kids, but I could definitely see a political science teacher or an economics professor showing this to people and having a discussion about the actual real life implications of the show.
Well, if we're going to speaking of that, when I was younger, like probably 16, 17, there were two movies that made me understand the how can I put this, like the racial implications of people.
Yeah,
and that was Alien Nation. I told you that before. Alien Nation, because of the aliens. Actually, District 9 was pretty much the same thing. It was that when the aliens came down, and the humans were like, nah, we don't want these people around us. No, so they had like alien only bars, and the aliens drank sour milk to get drunk and stuff like that. But there was a cop. There was like a buddy cop movie because it was an alien and a human. That, and I have to rewatch it again, but there was a lot of racial, not even, I don't know if you should call it racial, because it was, I mean, I get the connotation, but that was a good movie. But another one that a lot of people probably don't think about, and I don't know if you've ever seen it, White Man's Burden. Did you ever see White Man's Burden?
Yes, I did see White Man's Burden.
And it was, the roles were reversed.
Yeah,
and
it was illustrating how society is in the United States, but what
Mm-hmm.
if the roles were reversed
Yes.
and
You
the
were like,
black people,
God,
yeah, and the
Lee.
black people were in the position that the white people were in.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a
That
very interesting movie.
it was like that one, and then you had there were a couple of thought provoking movies. Crash. Crash was good. I liked Crash.
Crash was okay, but I didn't. There was Crash is an imperfect movie. There's some things that are kind of messed up about it. It was very clunky. I could tell what Crash was trying to do, but I think they flubbed it a little bit.
Yeah. But yeah, those White Man's Burden was probably the most eye-opening movie I saw when I was younger,
Hmm.
because I must, like I said, it must have been about 16, 17.
Faux Mickey Latte has a comment. She says the great replacement theory is one reason why they want certain women to have more babies. I don't think they've thought this all the way through. I agree. Do you know what the great replacement theory is, Tony Man?
I do.
Yeah. Um, what's odd about it is for some reason that group of people has not realized that they've always been the minority. There's always been a greater, I mean, for the last 10,000 years, more than that, there's always been a greater amount of African people, indigenous people, Asian people than European people. It's been like that. So why all of a sudden now European American people think they're going to disappear? You haven't disappeared in 10,000 years. You're not going to disappear. It's weird. I think part of it could be because they lived in a what I call a fictitious what's the word I'm looking for? They were given fictitious propaganda to make them feel like they were the majority because they watched all this media from the 1920s on up to, 5-10 years ago that made them think that America was, 100% white. Like you're sitting there watching Friends and they live in New York City and you don't see any other groups of people other than European American people. And that's not how New York City is at all. So you get this false impression that you're the majority when you never really were the majority. That's my thought process on it. It's like you never were the majority, and that's okay. You've been able to get this far without being a majority.
All right.
It's just a weird thing. Oh, and then there's the underlying thing that I think people don't want to mention. I think they're afraid of becoming the quote unquote minority because they fear that we would treat them the way they treated us. And that's not going to happen because if it was going to happen, it would have already happened. And I say that because think about it. If you enslave someone for several hundred years and then when they finally get free, they just go on about their business, you should thank your lucky stars because what other group of people would just, oh, I'm free now, I'm going to go on about my business? There's a lot of people that would have had war. It just would have been war.
Oh boy.
It's true.
Nah, you
The
starting.
fact that
You are
no, I'm just saying
you gotta
I'm saying it's a
stop. You,
testament. It's a
I'm
testament.
giving you advice. Stop, because you're starting to tread into Kanye West territory now.
No, not at all. That's not
Because
what
he
I
said it
think you're
first.
I think you're misunderstanding what I'm saying at all. I'm not saying anything what he said. If you heard what I just said and you interpreted that to what Kanye said, I think you're mishearing me. I'm not saying Kanye West said that slavery was a choice. I disagree with that. That's not what I'm saying at all.
But
What I'm saying, let
expound
me
on that.
just
Expound
listen.
on why he said that. What did he say could happen? Why did he think it was a choice? Do you know why he said that? He said that if there were so many slaves and you had the owners, right? Why didn't they just revolt? Because there were 5 or 6 of one race
I'm going to
and
tell you. I'm going to
300
tell you.
of
Well,
another
I'm going
race.
to. Well, I'm going to tell you something right now. When we get off this live stream, you should Google slave revolts.
I know. I know
You
what would
should
happen.
Google it.
I
No,
know
you
what would
should
happen
Google
to
it.
keep people in line. I
No,
know
no,
what
you
would
should.
happen.
No. You should Google it because we did revolt. Kanye is ignorant because him making that statement as if we didn't. That's number one. Number two, what I was saying was that the fact that the Emancipation Proclamation happened and we basically went on about our business is a testament to the patience of Black people. Because what other group of people would just go on about their business after what was done to them for generations without it being all out war. There's people that want to fight each other because somebody said something messed up to them 10 years ago.
10 seconds ago.
10 seconds ago. You imagine, just put yourself in a place. You are a slave. You're on a plantation. You've seen your relatives beaten. You've seen your relatives sexually assaulted, hung from trees. And then they tell you you're free one day and you don't go and kill the people that did that to your people. That's amazing. That's freaking amazing.
I'm looking it up right now. 1739, the Stonewall Rebellion. 1712, the New York Slave Revolt. 1800, Gabriel's Rebellion. 1811, German Coast Uprising. 1822, Denmark Vesey's Conspiracy. 1831, Nat Turner's Rebellion.
Exactly.
The Creole Mutiny. Yeah, 1841.
This is part of why Obama called Kanye a jackass. And what's sad is his mother started a library. How your mother started a library and you just ignorant? It's well, it's probably some type of mental illness. I don't know what it is. It's some type of mental illness that is unchecked. But we don't go by what Kanye says because he ain't been right since college dropout.
Yeah.
Oh, I have another slide.
I've been trying to get you back onto this. All right.
So the big reveal. This agent has spent 3 seasons trying to get back to the island because he knows his brother's on the island. But what he didn't know was that his brother was one of the villains on the island.
Quick question I'm sorry. I just had a quick question about Squid Games. Did you notice when they were doing the everybody seemed to be in unison, like all the numbers when they were doing that that 3-legged race?
Yes.
And somebody would get it, they go, yeah. And when people would make it, everybody would cheer like, yeah, you made it. And then the next that was a pretty amazing thing because it made me feel like that too. I was like, they did it. And then the first people that just got shot, everybody just calmed down like, oh, this is serious now. But that was just because I was just scrolling through my Facebook thing and someone says still the most unforgettable scene in all of Squid Games, and it showed the picture of of the old lady. Was it the old lady, the army girl, the dude with the glasses, and the pregnant girl? Because remember, they were like the outcasts of that whole thing. I didn't think they were going to make it.
Yes.
But they made it. And everybody was cheering. But go ahead. I'm sorry. Go back to your thing.
That's all I was saying was that as part of the finale, the agent that was looking for his brother on the island, the whole series, you think that his brother is one of the contestants in the Squid Game. And you find out that his brother is the head of, I guess the head of the operations.
They showed that in season 1.
I don't remember that.
That's exactly what happened in season 1, Shah.
Oh, was that when he shot him in the shoulder and he fell off the cliff?
It wasn't in the shoulder. I thought it was in the stomach, but yes, that's when when
I couldn't remember whether he saw his face or whether he had the mask on.
No, you saw his face.
Oh, okay.
And that's how in season 2 I was like, oh shit, he's in the game because I recognized him from season 1. But yeah, oof. But yeah, he and it so yeah, the island, because the game was won by little 222. Was it 222? Yes, the baby.
Yeah, the baby 222.
Because what's his name? 456 said what he said, and he fell out. He decided to kill himself rather than the baby, which is the most humane thing to do. So the baby won, and then as they were getting ready to go, the dude that's sitting in the chair decided to nuke the island. And
he hit the self-destruct button.
And what was crazy was when he was on top of the platform on the first one, I was like, how the hell did he get up there? How the hell is he going to get down? But there was an elevator obviously in the middle of the platform, and because he grabbed the baby, and then right after that, the brother shot out the windows and was like, "Hey, what are you? Why are you doing this?" or whatever the hell he said.
Mm-hmm.
And then the island blew up. And then we flash forward 6 months later, and the
He visits player 456's daughter
mhm,
and gives her his belongings, which includes a bank card with all his millions, or is it millions or no? It's billions of won
billions.
winning. Mm-hmm.
And then the brother
Mm-hmm.
goes home. Well, the what happens is they show the girl with the scar on her face because those dudes were like, "Yo, you got to be part. You got to be part with us. You got to be down with us or whatever." And they put a scar on her face, so then they go, "Oh,
Mm-hmm.
we both have secrets now." During the episode, so she has a scar on her face now, and she's sitting at this amusement park that she used to work at, and this dude is sketching her, and he goes, have I sketched you before?" And she says, "No," because he recognized her from somewhere, and it turns out then the little girl comes running up, and it's the guy that she saved, and the little girl has hair, like went through the treatment, so she's got her hair. So that story wrapped up nice into a bow. The girl wrapped up nice into the one with the scar on her face wrapped up nice into a bow because she found out that was it her mother or
Mm-hmm.
somebody's living in China.
It
I
was her
think
daughter.
her daughter's living in China
Mm-hmm.
because in the last episode, she was ready to off herself. She had the barrel cocked, finger on
Mm-hmm.
the trigger, and was squeezing it. But then she heard the baby cry, baby two two
Mm-hmm.
two cry, and she stopped. And then so she saw that whole thing transpire. But then the brother goes to his house, and the baby's sitting on his bed, and he looks in there, and it says "Player 222 is the winner." And then he pulls out the debit card,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a gold card. So then he goes to the debit machine and he tests the number. He puts
Mm-hmm.
in 2221 or 11222, and it shows that the baby won the million won. But if it was me, the baby wouldn't have 445 billion won. Might have 42, but wouldn't have the whole thing because I'm gonna have to try to make myself comfortable too.
You,
Because you're a baby, you don't know better. You're
that's
a
messed up.
billionaire. You're gonna be a billionaire. You could spare a couple,
Well, the
but
thing is, I'm quite sure that the I think it's called the front man or something like
yeah, the
that.
front man.
The front man probably has billions of won just from his job of
But
being the front
it
man.
wasn't
So
him. The front man wasn't the one with the baby. It was his brother.
yeah, I know, but the brother doesn't need to skim any money off the top because he has to take care of the baby with that money anyways.
Well, then that'd be some expensive ass Pampers I buy her. But then it shows the front man survived,
Hmm.
and I think he's in America somewhere.
Yeah, he was in Los Angeles.
And then you see it shows the scene. You hear the papers going pop, pop, and you hear slap like ow,
Hmm.
ow,
Let
and
me
it
see if I
shows.
can.
Go back to it.
Yeah, I will show it on the screen. Oh, I had it up there a long time. Come on, rewind. A little bit more. A little bit more. We talked for a
Mm-hmm.
long time on these.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. This lady here, she was smacking the homeless dude in the alley.
So yes, Chloe Svenny, I think that's her.
No, that's not Chloe Sevigny, is it?
You got I
I
it
don't think
might
that's that actor's name. I'll
well
look it up. Let me look it up.
look it up. But so she's in the alleyway smacking some fat dude because he keeps wanting to play the game. So people were thinking that it's going to be like a giant Squid Games universe, and there's going to be like American Squid Games, but I thought it too. But unfortunately, the director said that there's not going to be Squid Games too.
Mm.
in the Squid Games USA. It's not happening. He said it's not on his watch. He's done. He only put her in there to make people understand that there's Squid Games going on all around the world.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what that was. It
That
wasn't.
was that actor is Kate Blanchett.
Oh, I'm sorry, Kate Blanchett.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's what the actor was. That's what they were trying to show was that it happens everywhere. That's what I found out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, all in all, now my question to you is if you, because I thought of this today, because okay, if you had any druthers or any school game that you played
Mm-hmm.
growing up, what would be the one? What would be your Squid Game? Like, what would be the one? Like any game that you remember growing up doing or playing, what would be your? Let's say, and it doesn't even have to be a game. It could be an everyday thing, like an everyday activity. Because what made
I
me
would.
think of it was this. I'll tell you. Let me just
What?
really quickly. Was trying to stick my USB into my laptop today, and I
Mm-hmm.
did it one way. I turned it over, did it again. It didn't work. Turned it back over, did it again. Turned it back over, did it again. I looked at it, looked at the thing, and then it went in. And I said, you know what? If this was a Squid Game, I'd be dead. That's what I thought. So
Mm-hmm.
then it made me think of what game growing up would you be? Do you think to be the worst at Squid Games? At?
Would be the worst.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it could be. I mean, like if it was a rope climbing, you'd win that. Like if it was running, you would win that. How like hopscotch, like games like that. I don't know what games you played as a child.
Okay, I got one. Double Dutch.
Ro- So if that
Yeah.
thing on the bridge had two ropes, you'd be
Yes.
done.
Yes.
Yeah. You know what mine was?
What?
Dodgeball.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like dodge, like if they had like dodgeball and it had like spiky balls or whatever,
Oh yeah.
or if you got, because remember back when we played dodgeball, if you
Mm-hmm.
got hit, you had to go to the other side's
Mm-hmm.
jail,
Now,
and they would either
what would be a good a Squid game would be Connect Four.
yeah. You think you could beat me in Connect Four?
I don't know. I could try.
No, I don't think you would.
Mm.
You might, but no. Board games. That's remember I had a black and white TV and I didn't really play much, so I, for lack of a better term, played by myself. I was going to say played with myself, but it's not good. I played, games by myself and I learned strategies and stuff. And, you know,
Mm-hmm.
do you ever play backgammon?
Mm, no.
I've played backgammon. See, I've never played chess though, but schoolyard games.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I could say that would come close to like a Squid Games game, and this is when I was a PE assistant,
Mm-hmm.
was I decided to, because we did this game just like the other game that we did, the horse game, the meat, like you got to go with teams like in the Squid Game season 2,
Mm-hmm.
and I lost in that one. They had another game called Prison Break,
Mm-hmm.
and what happens is like there's, so mind you, I had about 40 kids. They had 2 classrooms, so it was like about 40 kids, and they were like, "You got to figure out a game to play with these kids." So I said, "Okay, Prison Break." Bad mistake. Number one, don't ever play it on a basketball court, and B, don't play it with 40 kids, or 1 or 2, A and B, because we played it. The game goes like this: you have one person that's a guard. They have their back turned to the line of students, the kids, right, the other kids, and the gym teacher says, "Go." Everybody in that line has to walk walk quietly past the guard to get to the other side. If anybody makes a noise, the guard can turn around and start chasing people and tagging them. And then they become guards too. It's not good when you have kids that are hyper on sugar
Mm-hmm.
and just want to be the center of attention, because as soon as you say go, they go, ah, and they yell, and then bam, they're and it was like everybody, the kids started bumping into themselves. People got knocked down to the. People had skinned knees, skinned elbows. It was a tragic mess.
Mm-hmm.
So I stopped playing it. I couldn't do it anymore. And that was 4th and 5th graders.
Mm.
So it's like, nah, no, we're not doing that. We're going out to the field and you're gonna kick a soccer ball around with your friends. That's what I did.
You know what I think I might do for this stream? I think I might upload the slideshow to Patreon, but set it as a free to view like slideshow so that they can play it alongside the video rather than re-edit. Well, I'll see if I can re-edit it within the YouTube app, because I know there's an editor within the app, but I have to wait for the video to finish processing, and since it's a 2-hour video, I won't be able to do it until tomorrow because it's going to process for hours.
Well, yeah. Well, why don't you talk about your Patreon and all your other things?
Oh yeah. Well, you know what? I have a little bumper I can show. Let me remove that and show. Well, I have two. I'll show this one first. And that has my Patreon on there, www.patreon.com/horrorfreak. And that's spelled HORRORFREQ. You could also like and share this video to help me with the algorithm and all. Even if you're watching the replay, leave a comment, but keep it nice, because I don't like arguing in the comments. I will get rid of you if you try to rage bait. And then I have this one that tells you a little bit more about Patreon. There's different tiers. I have a I'd buy that for $1 tier. I have the $2 tier for joining the costume department, and then the top tier is the $3 tier to become a producer. And there is the QR code to scan. Your continued support helps me to build this channel through contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.
Yes. Oh, hold on. Fomiki Latte has Deuces would be a good game because it always results in an argument.
What game is Deuces? I don't know that game. Do you know that game?
I don't know where the foe's from.
Mm-hmm.
So if she tells me, if they could, if she could describe it really quickly, like is it like it's either going to be not rock paper scissors, Deuces. Them is I don't know. You got to let me know, because I can tell you if we played it. What
I
it was
thought of
called.
another game, worst game for me that I would lose in.
What?
It's a card game. Can you guess what card game?
Spades.
Yeah, I would lose in that.
Uno, you probably lose at Uno too.
No, I think I could win Uno. I used to play Uno a lot.
Really?
Yes.
You never played me in Uno.
No, I never played you in Uno.
Yeah. Oh, you'd probably be mad. Monopoly.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't. You have Trivial Pursuit, and you won't play me in Trivial Pursuit anymore.
I used to play Gin Rummy with Grandma.
That's a fun game.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I was thinking? Another game that would be crazy.
Were you ever around when Grandma and Papa used to play Bid Whist?
No.
Bid Whist is kind of like Spades, but it's like the precursor to Spades.
Okay.
It's older than Spades, but it's a similar game.
I thought of another game that we played as kids that would probably end up with Squid Games.
Mm-hmm.
And it was Kill the Man with the Ball.
Is that like dodgeball? But
nope. What it is you take a football and you throw it up in the air, and one person catches it, and everybody else has to tackle them. They will chase you around, and they will tackle you. They will kill the man with the ball. So then, but before you get tackled, it's almost like rugby. So right before you get hit, you throw it away, you throw it in the air, and someone else will grab it and run around. But yes, that's what we used to play. We called it, you think about it, man. We had a lot of masochistic and sadistic games. Even I told you about Burn. That game Burn, where you had you throw a tennis ball against the wall, and you can only catch it with one hand on one bounce. And if you didn't catch it with one hand on one bounce, you had to run to the wall and tag the wall, or get hit with the ball. if you got hit with the ball before you tag the wall, you get a letter. And if it's spelled burn, you'd have to line up on the wall with your hands like you're getting frisked. So your hands above your head, your legs spread
Mhm.
out, and everybody in the game got to turn throwing the tennis ball at you.
Mhm.
Or if you were more sadistic, you would use a racquetball because it was
Mhm.
rubber. But oh yeah. Oh, she says it's not her. My bad. It's not deuces. Well, then what was it? What are you? Sorry, it's not deuces.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, I can go on and on and on about the games,
Mhm.
about like games that we played, like kick the can, or
I never played kick the can.
no,
Mm-mm.
jeez, and you never played nighttime hide and seek, running through
No.
running through the projects or the apartment complexes
No.
in the dark as a child.
Where I
Oh yeah.
lived, all we did in the dark is catch fireflies in a jar, or sometimes we could camp in the backyard, but we never made it through the night because it got really creepy, and we would go back in the house.
Yeah.
But other than
Well,
that, like, yeah, we didn't really do much of that. We didn't even swim in the pool at night because it was creepy, and we didn't have pool lights.
you had a pool.
Hmm.
I
Starting
mean,
in, I think we got the pool when I was in fifth grade. I think fifth grade.
we used to hop the fence at the local pool at the local park because no one's paying attention at night. Like when security would come drive their car around
Hmm.
in the park, but you jump in the pool, especially hot night.
Hmm.
Climb the fence, jump in the pool, get really nasty, and get wet, soaked.
Hmm.
Take your shoes off though, so because you got to put your shoes on to climb back over the fence because there's no way to get in because they lock it with a padlock. So you'd have to.
Oh.
And what you do is you take your towel and throw it over the top of the fence where because the fences usually would end up in a giant like X with the
Hmm.
barbs sticking up, and you don't want to get caught on those because I knew a dude that happened to one of my older sister's friends. They were going through a graveyard and he hopped a picket fence. Not a picket fence, but the fences in the graveyard.
Hmm.
He hopped it, but he misjudged it and he landed on it.
Oh.
And yeah, so he was in pain.
Wow.
But yeah, so those were the good old days, back when you can do stuff and as a kid, and you know, I mean, literally, I thought about it the other day. We would run through people's yards in the dead of night. Like it'd be 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, and we're running through their yards playing hide and go seek, tag hide and go seek, in dark. We call it dark.
Hmm. In the
And
city?
no, this would be in like the rural town with my cousins and everybody.
Oh, that's why you did that. Those are things that black kids don't do because the cops will be called on us.
Well, funny you should say that because we had three with us.
They weren't very smart.
Well, you know what? Especially, you mean yeah, we did a lot of things that were questionable back then.
Hmm.
Like that, but it was fun. Like I said, we went into we thought it was a haunted house because it was an abandoned house, and we went into
Oh,
the
I think
house.
I think everybody 80s did that because we were um supervised. That's what I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Gen X was probably the most unsupervised generation. No, well, probably not the most. Probably the most unsupervised generation might have been the silent generation. Those kids growing up in the 1910s.
Mm-hmm.
I think they kind of could do what they wanted to do also. But I need to get out of here because I have some editing to do, and it is 9 o'clock. And also, I need to preserve my streaming hours in order to make it through the rest of the month because I don't want to hit that wall again where they say you can't stream anymore because hit the wall of your free streaming hours.
Okay.
Fomiki Latte says whatever it was, everyone was always cheating and they would play for nickels.
Ah.
I don't know what game that was.
Hmm.
But
I
we'll
don't
we'll
know.
find out. We'll find out eventually. I don't know what our show will be about next week. We'll just have to figure it out, play it by ear. But I thank everyone for coming through and listening to us ramble on for 2 hours about Squid Game. I'm sure there's probably something that I forgot to mention on the show. Um, but you know what? You guys can continue the conversation in the comments. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. But like I said, keep it nice. I don't want you. Like I said, I will get rid of anybody that's trying to rage bait, because I know when you start to talk about politics, people can um not be so nice to each other, and I don't allow that on this channel. This is a space for everyone to feel welcome. So if you can discuss things in a gracious, intelligent, and kind manner, that's cool. But if you can't, you out of here. I'm just letting you know. All right. So thank you, Tony Man, for having this discussion, and we will see everybody next week.
Yeah. See ya.
Mhm.